Hello and welcome to Nollywood Fellow, a channel where I talk Nollywood, and today I'm going to be talking about Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti. It has been produced and directed by Bolanle, Austen-Peters, and written by Tunde Babalola. Now, I've always looked forward to Nollywood movies about Nigeria's anti-colonial movement, and I have seen a couple of them and they weren't that impressive. While this movie is not exactly about the anti-colonial movement, it touches upon a very important event, and it is a tribute to one of Nigeria's biggest heroes, Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, who was an educationist, a political activist, a women's rights activist, among so many other things. And if you're talking about making a movie of a person who had such an eventful life, it is no mean feat. I mean, you're showcasing the life of a woman who was Nigeria's first woman to drive a car, the first girl to go to a boys' school in Abeokuta, someone who brought education to the masses, who educated women, who fought for women's rights to vote, who fought against oppression, who took part in Nigeria's independence movement and later on protested against the dictatorship in Nigeria, and also mother to the great Fela Kuti, the legend who started the very genre of Afrobeats and then took forward his mother's political views and political revolution as well. So we're talking about a woman who was all these things and much more, and we're talking about crunching it into a 1.5 hour consumable film. It's an uphill task, all in all. And what I love is that they chose the things that define Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti as a person. Like they did not even mention that she was the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria, because if not her, maybe some other woman with the same level of privileges would have been the first to do that, And even talking about Fela Kuti, for instance, he was just a mere mention along with his siblings. But what they did show is they showed this woman who dropped her Anglo name and went ahead with her Yoruba middle name while in London. A woman who stood up against bullies from a young age. A woman who brought the elite women and the marketplace women shoulder to shoulder. And a woman who fought against the injustice of people which didn't even affect her personally. And even though she orchestrated and participated in many things besides the protest at Abeokuta against the Alake, what is worth noting is that this film focuses on that, as that is one event that truly brings out who she was. It shows her initiative, her compassion, her resilience, her resistance. I also liked how the movie also pays a tribute to the men in her life. The father who taught her to believe in herself and not take things lying down, or be it the husband who was always the pillar of strength for her. And the way the movie has been picturized is nothing short of beautiful. There is attention to detail, there is intention, and it shows. The camera work, the production design, the makeup, the costumes, the art direction, everything beautifully creates the 40s and 70s very effectively. Also, from a personal point of view, I love it when I see colonial Nigeria on screen. It's sort of a deja vu for me, which is weird because I wasn't even around during the colonial times. But yeah, the way in which Nigeria is created, colonial Nigeria is created on screen and colonial India is created on screen are pretty similar. Of course, I mean, both were British colonies, and it also gives me this sort of beautiful familiar feeling, which I love about Nollywood anyways. Talking more about the movie, the dialogues were very good. They were on point. They were funny and witty when they had to be, and they were sharp and incisive where they had to be. Also, I liked the use of Yoruba phrases and aphorisms, and they never went overboard. And that is one trap that many Nollywood films, many Yoruba films do fall into. Moving on to negatives, there isn't anything I can think about. White actors in Nollywood. They've always been a pet peeve for me. But here, I'll just say that they weren't that good. That's all I'll say. I have seen much worse. Moving on from the white actors to the bigger performances in the movie. But before I move into the performances, I have to say that I don't have any reference to Funmilayo's footages, so I wouldn't know how on point the actors were in reenacting her. So I'll be talking merely from the standpoint of performances. Joke Silva. Oh well, she carries the movie through her narration, her warm smile and courteous nature brings out the side of this woman who's been through a lot and yet has this sense of humor. She's done a beautiful job. Kehinde, Bankole. Oh boy, where do I even start? I don't think anyone can up her game now. I mean, she is right there. I think she'll get another AMVCA for this one. She brings the power that this performance needs, and she has not only done great service to the filmmakers and the viewers, but also to the great Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti. Yimide Oyo Olumuka as the young Funmilayo is also good as the sweet girl who doesn't hesitate to give it back. She is convincing as the younger version of a revolutionary. Ibrahim Suleiman, well, the man has this warm, peaceful, compassionate aura to him that makes him a very good fit for the supportive husband, a role very well played. Omolabake Adetumbi as Mr. Thomas, the father, has played his role well, but for some reason I feel he maybe needed a little more screen time. I don't know how to put it, but for some reason the performance or the character don't stay with you, even though the character's impact does. So that's just a personal point of view. Now moving on to the conclusion. Well, all in all, I'd say that this is not a movie that is made every day. It is great cinema and it is made consumable for the masses as well. There is great balance at play. It is a story and a eulogy that no one should miss, especially Nigerians. It is a befitting tribute to one of Nigeria's greatest unsung heroes, Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Bye.